We are in the zone with Robert Woods. Tonight's special guests are Buffalo Bills alumni Booker Edgerson and Jeff Nixon.
I'm Dave Jickster. The Bills get clawed by the Bengals and fall to 3-3. We are going to break it all down.
And I'm Brad Galber, and we've been taking your Facebook and Twitter questions all day long. We are in the zone.
In the Zone with Robert Woods on WBBZ-TV is presented by Transitown Automotive Group, serving Western New York for over 40 years. Trust Transitown. Creekside Sales and Service Outdoor Equipment Store, your factory-authorized Cub Cadet and Mahindra dealer. Dewville College, educating for life. And now from the WBBZ studio, here's co-host Dave Jickster.
Welcome to In the Zone. I'm Dave Jickster. I'm glad to be here, and I'm with Booker Edgerson, played for the Bills from 1962 to 1969. And Jeff Nixon, who played for the Bills from 1974 to 1984.
I think they stretched that a little bit, huh?
Yeah, where'd that come from? Robert Woods could not be here because he's in London, but we did catch up with him after yesterday's very frustrating loss. Here's Robert Woods.
Hey, Robert, tough loss today against a good team, though. So let's talk about the positive things that came out of this game, first of all.
Right, first things off, come out, have a good first drive, put up some good points early on, but then, same thing, consistently lacking consistency on offense, and it cost us in the middle of the game. A lot of 3 and outs, but just got to find ways to move the ball and just get better for next week in London.
Tyrod, is he gonna be ready to go next week, you think?
I pray so. He's been getting some action last week and moving around pretty well. So we'll see. Hopefully get Tyrod back out there.
You didn't tell me that he was hurt last week, which I was kind of upset about.
That was one of those secret team secrets. Even the start with EJ, but banged up knee. Take a game down and hopefully get him back out here next week.
Let's talk about EJ. How would you rate his play today?
I think EJ, played confident. Played his game. Was able to relax, and control our offense. We lacked early on, but I liked what EJ did, throwing the ball in the air, and even a key third down. Awareness just to run and get a lot of positive yards.
You had a few big catches for some first downs today.
Trying to be open target for EJ. Telling him. I'm feeling good, come my way. We have some history going back since our rookie year. And just trying to be open target for him and just stay open and get those first downs.
It seems to me like he did not look at any receivers downfield, though. He threw a lot of short passes, a few passes over the middle, most of them to the outside, but nothing deep, and he didn't seem like he was looking at anybody deep. Was that?
Yeah.
Do you think he was a little nervous back there?
I wouldn't say he was nervous. I think once we were moving the ball early on, and then after on, once a lot of 3 and outs and penalties, they did the smart thing. They backed their linebackers up, backed their safeties up, and the only thing they were giving us a lot of underneath stuff. And with 3rd and long, those checks downs, that's what they want. That's what they favor.
And speaking of penalties, there were a bunch again today. Some personal fouls.
Some on myself.
You had 2.
Yes.
What's the next step to stop these penalties?
The ones playing football, we just got to live with those. The extra ones outside of the play, definitely have to eliminate those. And I think some of the penalties on myself was just knowing assignment, knowing where the ball is going. I think that put us a lot in third and longs. And that was one for myself. I seen how it really affected us.
Yeah, well, the first one didn't really look like a hold to me.
Yeah, I don't think the first one was. Guy came inside, just trapped him inside. But the referees, they're flag happy here, so we gotta be aware of that.
Another problem that I think we're seeing too is special teams has been struggling. They've been struggling all year, and it seems to be getting worse. And then they're having penalty issues as well.
Right. At times when Colton is, having a great job, kicking it deep, a great kick, and then we give them 15 more yards to add on their return. What's cost us? This game is all about field position, and we're giving it up right now.
This is also a game too. Going into it this morning, I was really thinking that this is a statement game for the defense. defense. Even though they're playing a pretty good football team, with EJ playing his first game as a starter and stuff, and they seem to struggle too, especially on third downs. Like they seem to have him stopped after second down, and then boom, big third down conversion by Cincinnati.
Right. You know, I think it was a great challenge for our defense. You know, weapons all around in backfield, quarterback, tight end, receivers. You know, it was a great matchup. You know, we were forcing them into third and longs. You know, guys finding ways to get open. We got to stay locked up when, you know, quarterback scrambling in the pocket. You know, that cost us when Dalton was moving around.
Jacksonville next week in London. So first of all, have you ever been to London?
No, first time going to London. You know, look forward to it. Don't look forward to this long flight.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are leaving like now, right?
Yeah, in a couple hours. You know, a couple hours of family time, and then we're headed to the plane.
Now, will you have time to sightsee, or is it going to be all work?
You know, we have some days off out there, but you know, coming after a loss, you know, it's a must-win situation. Just got to do everything to get his win out here in London.
What do you know about Jacksonville?
You know, they have a great receiver outside. You know, tight end. I saw, you know, came across the middle and scored. You know, and their D line is another good one. And got to match up against them and attack them in the air. And you know, LaShawn's going to do his job.
And that was Robert Woods yesterday, right after yesterday's loss to the Bengals. Guys, Booker Edgerson, Jeff Nixon, thank you so much for joining us. And, you know, I said 1974 you played. It's 1979 to 84.
Well, I like the extra 5 years you gave me. I wish it would have gone toward my pension a little bit better.
Actually, you guys both play defense. Booker, let me start with you. The defense looked very, very, and there's a picture of you, Booker, back in from 1962 to 1969. Very handsome.
Good-looking guy.
Still looks the same.
You're still handsome, yeah. Let's talk about this Bills defense. They seem to be very struggling a lot. It seems confusion on the field. Some of the players have said that the defense is too complicated. Last year it was more simple. They were let loose to go get the quarterback. What's the deal?
I don't understand how a defense could be complicated. You know, number one is because the play of the players is automatically that they got to rush the ball, they got to rush the quarterback, and the defensive backs have to cover the receivers. So what's so complicated about that? You know, but I don't think that we should panic at this point because we still got 10 games left to play, and the defense can get their act together if that is their problem. I see where they hollering about that they would like to have a 4-3 defense instead of a 3-4, but you know, we've had so many coaches in and out of here, and each coach comes in with his own schematics and everything. So you got one coach coming in, he's a 3-4 person, and the next one coming in, he's a 4-3 person. So now your personnel is not suited for what you want to do.
Jeff Nixon, your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, I think the defense is probably a little complicated. You know, some of the guys seem to have a problem getting lined up right. We saw that on that touchdown to Marvin Jones. You know, the cornerback was running over there when that play got started, and they threw that quick screen. He ran in for the touchdown. But you know, the first thing you got to do in the NFL is get lined up properly. You know, and if you can't do that, you're going to have problems throughout the entire game. But you know, it still comes down to, like Booker said, you got to tackle people. You know, you got to play the defense that's called, and it's not that it shouldn't be that hard. You know, I mean, these guys, that's what they get paid for, and they get paid a lot of money for it now too. So they better get into the books. And you know, one of the things Coach always told me was it doesn't matter how good you are if you're not thinking, if you don't have that down, you can't play this game.
Well, hopefully they can start thinking a little bit more and bounce back against Jacksonville. Next, we are going to take a trip to the Dunn Tire Digital Zone. Brad Gelber, we're going to be taking your questions from Facebook and Twitter. 2 minutes from right now. We'll be right back. Welcome back in the zone. Dave Jickster here from 97 Rock. Thanks for watching WBBZ-TV. I'm with Booker Edgerson and Jeff Nixon. And guys, a lot of penalties again yesterday. Stupid penalties. Is this coaching or is it all on the players?
That's a good question. You know, a lot of people say that it shows an undisciplined team, you know, and everybody points to the head coach as the one that should make them play better and play penalty free. But, you know, that's all on the players. Like, these guys know that you're not supposed to put hands into the face, that you're not supposed to push a guy in the back when you're running down on a special teams. I mean, the players have to take it upon themselves at some point to say, look, I can play without, you know, doing something stupid, especially the personal fouls. You know, when you're out there and you let your emotions get carried away and you cost the team 15 yards on a personal foul, that's uncalled for. You know, you just get out there, do your thing, and play smart. Play smart.
Yeah, see, the biggest thing is that, you know, they know that they have to play that game with the other team. And when you get all those penalties and everything, it's like having a third team playing against you there. And so therefore, you know, they're not that good to be able to absorb 115, 130 yards worth of penalties during the course of a game. You know, they just not that good. But people say that's the coach's problem, that they're not disciplined. The coach has nothing to do with those guys out on that field. Once they get out there, they're thinking for themselves, and they're doing what they're prepared to do. And when they jump offside, that was not part of the preparations in the whole game plan.
Well, here's Coach Rex Ryan. He was very frustrated after the game.
I think the thing that is killing me right now is, I mean, it's frustrating. You know, injuries are part of the game. There's no question about it. But it's like we've been so snake bit. It's just unbelievable to me. I think it's affecting everybody's morale, mine included. I mean, because you have a vision for what this team could be, and you know when we're healthy, and it's just it's frustrating because you don't have your parts. I know that we can compete with anybody, but it just seems like we take a step forward and and then we end up taking 2 steps back. Like it's been a frustrating year, and these injuries, it's just amazing. But hopefully we can right the ship. We can we can get our guys back, and I truly believe that we have a very talented team. But I'd love to have that ability to get them back healthy.
There has to be some frustration. Coach Rex Ryan even emphasized that the team is frustrated. What is the mood with your teammates?
The mood is, like you said, it's frustrated. We know what we're capable of. We see what we have at practice, see what we have in some games, and even this game, we know we're a talented group on every phase. But we just got to be consistent. We got a long flight, a lot of time to think about it, correct it, look at the film, and get a win and change the season moving forward.
You think it's fixable?
It's definitely fixable. It's a lot of stuff that's going on that's like penalties after the play, technique. There's a lot of stuff very fixable. That's why I say, this team, we let them out of here, let them stay undefeated. But, it happens. We got to fix these and change our season.
Okay, let's take a trip to the Dunn Tire Digital Zone, brought to you by, of course, Dunn Tire, the official tire dealer of the Buffalo Bills. I'll send things over to my pal, Brad Gelber. Brad?
Thanks, Dave. And make sure to check us out on Twitter at WBBZ and on Facebook at facebook.com/WBBZ-TV. All right, let's head over to Twitter now. And our first question is going to be from Lori, and both Booker and Jeff can answer this. She wants to know, what has been the biggest deciding factor for you guys sticking around Buffalo and taking part in the Bills alumni?
One of the things Charlie Ferguson told me when I first met him was that they didn't pay him enough money to get a bus ticket out of Buffalo. But you know what? One thing that I found is that the people are fantastic. The best fans in the NFL. When we had a stadium that fit 82,000, we set the NFL record here in Buffalo like 5 straight years in a row. If it was that big, we'd probably still be setting the records. But the people are good. I've found I've found a good job here in Buffalo, and I like being around other players that have decided to make this their home too.
Well, the other piece of that is that we had to get a job on the off season because we didn't get paid that much. So a lot of guys stayed around. But the biggest point is that most of the guys end up marrying women from Buffalo. So that's what kept you in Buffalo because they wasn't going to leave, so you couldn't leave. But the fans and the people in Buffalo and Western New York has been so great. It reminds me of where I come from is the Midwest, and Buffalo and Western New York reminds me so much of the Midwest, and this is what I love about it. And I always said that this is where I'm going to stay.
Yep. Well,
City of good neighbors.
We're happy to have you both around here still, so thanks. And our next question is going to be from Jimmy on Twitter, and he wants to know, what is the biggest difference you've seen in the NFL from when you played versus today?
Technology. They have the technology to be able to view game films. They also have the technology to work out, to get themselves in shape, and all those other things to make them, stronger. everybody says they're bigger, stronger, and better. Well, I'll give them two of them, bigger and stronger, but I don't say they're better than what we were, because because the name of the game is that you have to play that position to the best of your ability, and a lot of those guys do not have that ability because you got 55 players that's out there now. Whereas before we only had 33 guys to 40 guys.
Right. One of the things that I see, and these guys today are benefiting from it. We were kind of like the guinea pigs for the surgeons back in the day. There were a lot of people that didn't know how to take care of medial collateral and anterior cruciate ligaments. I've got two 12-inch zippers on each side of my left knee that could have been done arthroscopically today. So the rules changes that have come into effect. I mean, we used to be able to crack back on people and head slap them and everything else. They've taken those things out of the game. The equipment has changed. There's much better equipment. The helmets are better. I mean, we had these cheap little, Rydell suspension helmets. Now they've got much better equipment. So,
thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Booker. Thanks, Brad. We are going to go to the fan zone, but special thanks to the Dunn Tire Digital Zone. Dunn Tire, the official tire dealer of the Buffalo Bills. The fan zone is next.
Connect in the Fan Zone, brought to you by Sports Obsession and the Galleria Mall.
Welcome back to the show, and one of our lucky audience members right here is going to win a $25 gift certificate to the Buffalo Roadhouse Grill. So it's a great prize. And what's your name and what's your question?
My name is Mike. My question is for Booker. You've had 23 interceptions in your career. I was wondering if any one of them was the most memorable or the most satisfying.
The most memorable one was against the New York Jets and Joe Namath. We only won one game that year, and that was the game.
Oh, that was a great answer to the question, and I think that's all the time we have. So back to you, Dave.
All right, we're going to take a short break, come back and go to the Gelber and O'Connell Hot Shot Challenge, see if these guys can throw a football. We'll be right back.
The Hot Shot Challenge Zone is brought to you by Gelber and O'Connell, your car accident and injury law firm. Call 633-5050.
Welcome back. It's time for the Gelber and O'Connell Hot Shot Challenge. We have two teams here. They're going to be competing for a basket full of candy from Sweetworks. Team number one is the Jeff Nixon team. Jeff, you ready for this?
yes, I am. I got my teammate here, Nadine. She's going to be the first to throw.
Hi, Nadine. Where are you from?
Orchard Park, New York.
Orchard Park, New York. Are you excited? Okay, Sweetworks candy basket you could win. And then we have team number two, which is Booker Edgerson. Booker, who's your teammate over here?
That's Jake.
All right, Jake, you ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Where are you from?
Alexander, New York.
Alexander, New York. Actually went to high school there. All right, Nadine, ladies first. We're going to let you go up, step right up here. Good luck to you. Sweetworks candy basket. We also have some Dave & Buster's gift cards. That was not too bad, not too bad.
So now it's my turn, right?
Jeff, you really got to pick your team up here.
All right, here we go.
Oh, there it goes. Team Jeff Nixon has one. All right, Jake, step right up. Step right up. You're down 1-0 right now. Oh, just a little bit outside. All right, Booker, come on up here. Come on up here. Oh, it's all tied up. Nadine, come on up here one more time. Good luck to you. It's all tied up, one apiece, almost there. Jay, come on over here. Let's see if you can win this, the Sweetworks candy basket. All right, we are going to take a short break and come back here, and then we're going to find out what these guys think the Bills can do in Jacksonville and London. We'll be right back.
Get in the zone this winter with a snowblower from Creekside Sales and Service. Enter to win one now. Go to WBBZ.TV and click on the Creekside logo. One entry per person per family. Creekside Sales and Service is your factory authorized Cub Cadet and Mahindra dealer. South Transit Road, Lockport.
Welcome back to In the Zone here. We have a big game. The Buffalo Bills have a big game in London on Sunday, and they're taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jeff Nixon, what do you think?
I think the Bills 38, Jacksonville 14. It's going to be a big, high-scoring game, I think.
All right. Booker, what do you think?
Well, I want to go 24-27, the Bills.
All right. I hope one of you is right. I hope the Bills win. All right, so listen, you guys are very active in the community, which we greatly appreciate. The entire Buffalo Bills alumni has been. Jeff, what are you doing now?
One of the things that I'm really supporting right now is the Western New York Alzheimer's Association. I joined their board about 6 months ago, and I just very, very fortunate to be able to help support an organization like this, is helping people that have dementia and full-blown Alzheimer's, and just we're trying to see if we can find, a cure for it, and see if we can find medications that'll help, people that have it, and just do everything we can to help the caregivers too that are living with parents or loved ones that have Alzheimer's.
Also, that deserves a big round of applause. Thank you.
Thanks.
Booker, prostate cancer.
Prostate
trying to
cancer.
find a cure.
Yes, we're trying to find a cure. It's a devastating cancer. It has a big problem in the National Football League. We have a lot of guys in the National Football League who has prostate cancer, and we have quite a few of them who have died from prostate cancer. So that's one of the issues we're pushing right now, is to try to get the National Football League to take on this project, because after all, who plays a game on Sunday afternoon? It's guys that's on the field. Although those guys are not old enough to have prostate cancer, but they do have fathers, and they have grandfathers and uncles. So therefore, we want to push that program.
Thanks, Booker. Thank you very much. A Sweetworks candy basket is going to our winner. Here it is right here. Congratulations. Team Booker wins that. Thanks for watching In the Zone. We'll see you next Monday. Go Bills.